so before the actual car talk begins, let's talk about some business. In terms of the hair, yeah, I'm not cutting this shit. Nah, come on. I don't know why, but for the past couple of years that I've been at school, I've pretty much gotten a haircut at the beginning of the year, like the school year, in the fall. And then I let it grow out for another year, and then I would cut it. So I'm gonna push it. So now it's been about a year, actually a year and a couple months. I'm gonna keep it growing. So just to address some concerns about that, it's gonna keep going. It is gonna keep freaking going. Not like that's gonna affect the pump though, so I guess really this is kind of a little bit of an unrelated topic. So plan now is just get hyped up for arms. Well, actually I don't really need to get hyped up for arms. I'm already kind of excited for it, but I do like an arm pump. I would say, yeah, I mean obviously having anything pumped, it's gonna make you look bigger, and especially that one specific muscle is gonna be bigger. But with an arm pump, especially looking at it head on, for me, my arms are just kind of extra thicker. It just kind of gives you a more, what's the word I'm trying to think of? I want to say brawly, a more brawlic look, maybe. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, whatever. It's like with an arm pump, looking at it from the side, especially in like a front lat spread. Ooh, I freaking love it. Freaking love it. So, push downs, dips. No. Well, actually, maybe. There's a dip machine that I'll say I'm indifferent. Actually, no, maybe not. I like it a little bit more than indifference toward it, but it's kind of funky because each handle moves individually. Like it's a really fancy one with a bunch of cables, and it just, I don't know. I don't necessarily love it. The best dip machine that I ever used was one in this pretty cool gym up in, I think it's Petoskey, Michigan. It's like the first floor is a commercial gym, and then the basement is more like the dungeon, where it's a lot more hardcore, like an old school gym. So it's got kind of that two-tone feel. But there was an old school dip machine, and I mean, I don't think I ever felt my triceps contract in a better way on a dip in my life. And it had a sweet seat belt to lock you into the seat. No, it was great. I gotta go back there one day. I like that a lot. So, I bring this up a little bit. A lot of new gym equipment. It's kind of, I don't know. I'll say they definitely knew what they were doing back in the 2000s and the 90s. I'm not saying they don't now. I mean, I'm not a gym owner. I'm not the one buying this stuff. This is just more of a critique. But, for the most part, I'm inclined to like an older machine with, I don't know. I just like them. Because sometimes the new shit is just too complicated. Like, there's so much moving parts, and when the seat moves as you do a curl, it's just, it seems kind of extra, just like it's for show. But let's stop critiquing gym equipment manufacturers and start thinking about the lift itself. With biceps, I can kind of feel a little something going on in here in my forearm. So not my elbow. My elbows still feel sweet. Like push downs, love it. But sometimes on curls, flare this little part up just a touch. And usually I'm more prone to slight, like, I don't want to say injuries, but kind of just little tweaks and pinches and twinges, whatever. I'm more prone to feel those when I'm cutting down, because I'm not just totally full of energy, right? Because when I'm bulked up, I got blood flowing through my, I got sugar flowing through my blood, energy's all over the place, tons of fats, just all my joints feel awesome. When you're bulked up and you've got a lot of food at your disposal, your body's obviously going to be able to make more use of that energy to kind of fix shit. Now, in a cutting context, you got a little bit less energy. Well, actually, you've got less energy than your body even needs every day to stay the same weight. That's kind of the whole point of being in a deficit. So you don't have so much at your disposal to kind of direct towards making sure all your joints and whatnot are in perfectly peak condition. So again, that kind of gets into the idea where you don't necessarily have to go insane in the gym when you're cutting down. Because for the most part, I think that when I'm dieting and I'm trying to lose body fat, the point of the lift, right? The whole point of the lift is to maintain my strength. But actually, even secondary, that's even secondary to the main goal, which is just to maintain the muscle that's already on my frame. And the amount of stimulation that muscle needs to be maintained is a little bit less than it needs to grow. You know, like, I pretty much want to say it's just like muscle memory, you know? Like, once you've built it up, it doesn't take so much to maintain. You know, like with your abs, this is actually a perfect example. You know, you're not just going to get abs out of nowhere, but if you actually work them dedicated with weight, like weighted crunches or ab machines, that's the best method to go about it. Train it just like any other muscle. But once you've built them, you know, I don't think they really need much more direct work, because just from like doing tricep pushdowns where you're going to kind of activate your abs because you're bending over to push down the weight, or, you know, doing compound lifts like squats and stuff, because they're a stabilizer. Every time I do a set of curls and I curl up with one side, I have to use my abs to kind of counteract that weight. Plus, every time you look in the mirror and you flex your abs, you're kind of giving them some stimulation. You know, once they're built, they're not going anywhere, right? I don't have to hit abs in my routine to keep them developed, right? They just don't need so much stimulation. But what I'm trying to say is the weight isn't so important when you're trimming down. Plus, how was I about to say that? So the weight's not so important, so you don't have to freaking, you know, push yourself so hard that you kind of tweak your elbow or your shoulder for no reason. And then you couple that with the fact that you don't have so much energy to freaking recover from those tiny twinges. It just makes sense to be a little bit more conservative with your weights. Like, maybe don't go too crazy, but you want to go heavy enough to stimulate your shit. And, you know, lifting heavy weight is going to help you maintain your strength more so. That, man, that red light was long. It kind of put me into a little bit of a slump in the conversation. So I'm just going to go park, get in there, warm up my triceps, my rotator cuffs, a little bit of forearms as well, and then we can jump to whatever the first working set for triceps is going to be. All right, so rather than light single arm pushdowns, I managed to strap 2 plates onto the stack. So I'll just start with something heavier. But, you know, whether you do a heavy set or like a light squeezing set, I mean, as long as you get a pump and you feel fatigued at the end of it, you definitely did something. Okay. One more, maybe 2 more. I'll see how they feel. But I like that. Sorry. Let's stay here for another 2, but let's take a plate off. Come on, you fucker. Okay. I like the simplicity of a fucking straight up push down. I don't have to think about like trying to pull my hands apart like with a rope. I'm going to sit here for 2 more. I might just do only push downs for triceps. I'll see how I feel after the next 2. All right. Let's do some kind of lighter squeezing movement to finish. Okay, so by way of jerry rigging, this fucking cable is broken, but I kind of managed to fucking tie a handle onto it. All I gotta make sure now is that it doesn't fucking come loose on me mid-set. But honestly, I think I did a decent job. That feels pretty sturdy. I'll just be careful. So instead of, you know, the rope or something, I'll just do these light single arm push downs. That's good. Oh, let's triceps done, man. Let's start with curls. I think a reasonably heavy opener of the 70s is about as heavy as I want to go, but just light enough or I'm not going to like tweak my forearm any more than I already apparently have. Okay. One more. Okay. That was a good one. I was thinking about moving on to preachers, but let's just do one more here. This is perfect. Okay. Definitely a little bit of a swing for that last rep, but I'm satisfied with that. Let's move on to fucking preachers. nothing else to say, just fucking burn out, you know? Okay, fine. That was good. I think I had the seat a little too high. One more. Okay. All right. That's enough of that. Let's do some straight bar cable curls. I think that'll be a good next movement. One more. Okay. Let's go finish with some lighter dumbbell curls. And then arms is done. All right, so 7 sets already done. I'm just gonna finish with the 50s, nothing special. You know, no pause reps, no drop sets. Just try to get a good squeeze on top and burn out. Okay. Oh. Let's go check the pump. All right, so ideal posing spot taken, but right here's pretty cool too. Honestly, it's not even that bad. So let's just run through a couple standard shots and then get out of here. Get in the freaking car and go eat something. Boy, I didn't have any class today, so I got to sleep in. I've had like, I mean, I can just find out how many calories I've had on the stupid simple macro tracker, but less than, well, let's just find out and not even guess. Yeah, 750. Dude, it's 5 o'clock, man. I'm freaking hungry. I gotta eat something. Ooh. Ooh. Let's see, what other ones are there? All right, that's pretty much the basics, the pretty basic gist of it. I need to get an arm, need an arm measurement so I can find out how big these things are, around. Pumped versus unpumped. I'll do that for the next arm day. I won't forget. I've got a tape measure because I just bought a freaking little sewing kit because I ripped. So I got like a little new pair of red Converse and I ripped the canvas open on the side of the fucking shoe. I was opening my door and I was like at the perfect angle for it to just rip a whole freaking line in it. So if you don't have a measuring tape, I'd recommend getting one. It's just fun to measure your arms. You're not going to get much out of it if you do it every week. Your arms aren't going to change week to week. But just over time from lifting, you know, my arms were fucking like 15 inches once. Well, I guess at one point they were 0 inches, but you get what I'm saying. You know, just a little bit of a numerical progress to track. So I think pumped right now, I'm probably in the 19s. I think they're like 18 and change cold. Or maybe 19, I don't remember. See, this is why estimation is fucking stupid. I could just find out if I brought it. So maybe I'll bring it next time. But I'm gonna go finish some calves and we can get out of here. I guess you won't be able to see the vacuum in this shot, but what are you gonna do? Ooh. That would have been freaky tankless, but I'm not going to try to take this fucking thing off. It's drenched. I'll probably rip it in the process. So let's get in the car. All right, you guys let me do that whole workout without my middle button buttoned? Come on, you got to tell me these kind of things. No, that was a pretty solid pump. Skipped calves because I got to roll, but yeah. I was about to say, what are you going to do now? I'm a total chump for skipping the calves today. I'll make sure to pump them up tomorrow. But even if I were to only hit calves once a week, that still puts me ahead of the curve in terms of general population. I could have pulled out if I saw the jaywalkers behind me poking out, stopping traffic. No, but 750 calories. I've got room to eat. I'm freaking excited. Probably gonna go home, get a pound of ground beef going, add some fat, well, add some full fat pepper jack cheese to it, because I don't have any fat-free cheese, but what are you gonna do? I don't know, it's not that huge of a hit, especially since in the context of, you know, lining up the amount of food I've eaten, so I'm in a deficit at the end of the day. You know, today I've been pretty good, so I can take a hit of maybe a little bit more calorie-dense meal, because I've got a lot of calories to work with. Now, if it were noon, I probably would not want to eat like an 800, maybe even 1,000 calorie meal, because that's approaching like half of the amount of calories I have for the whole day. So really, I'd say probably 500 calories a meal. That's maybe about what I'm aiming for when I'm trying to cut down, just so I don't blow through all my calories. Well, wonder what's going on over here. But let's yeah, only about a week left. I'm definitely getting excited about going to the so the dining halls here are pretty much just buffets at my school. I'm gonna start going there. I don't have a meal plan, but I'll just pay the, you know, 10-15 bucks, because if I sit in the dining hall for like, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours, I'm definitely gonna get my freaking money's worth. Oh my goodness. I'm remembering the little pizza and like the fried chicken patties they have in there. My mouth is literally fucking watering thinking about it. But you know, I've got the mental fortitude to delay the treats until the proper time, because I am not freaking bulking up yet. You know, I'm trying to get trim. I'm trying to get a little bit leaner. I'm trying to resensitize my appetite. And a fire truck behind me. And I mean, kind of just, you know, okay, I'm fine. I'm fucking getting a little bit distracted here. No, so what I'm trying to say is, for me, the whole point of my dieting phase, right, the whole point of the cut right now, it's honestly not really a cut per se. It's really serving the purpose as just a bulk, as just a break in between bulks. You know, I'm kind of just trimming off some of the excess body fat that I put on in the last bulk and trying to hold on to as much muscle as I can that I built so that I'm, relatively lean. And if you're relatively lean and you have been for like a little bit of time, maybe months, and you're kind of considering, oh, should I bulk? It's about to be summertime. Just do it, man. Before you know it, if you put off the bulk, well, if you keep telling yourself, oh, I'll bulk later, not yet, before you know it, if you keep putting it off, you're just never going to do it. So let's say you're in kind of more of an intermediate stage. You've kind of got a little bit of body fat on you, but you're not like overly soft either where a cut is like absolutely necessary. Then, just pull the trigger on one or the other. Just maintaining, there's nothing wrong with it. Right? Gaining, that's legit. But I've kind of gotten into the habit of the bulking and cutting method. So whatever you do, just try to make progress in some way. Because if you go into the gym, I definitely see people like this where they just maintain their build for years. Right? I've gone to the gym that I started lifting at. I still go there. I still see the people that were there, who were older than me, who just, that's their gym. I've seen them from when I was a beginner to now. It's not an uncommon sight to see people who just look the exact freaking same. Now, then again, that's kind of me being a little bit of an asshole. Not everybody's going to the gym to be like a bodybuilder. Just going to the gym and making that part of your routine, doing your exercise, doing some weight training. Right? That's freaking, everybody should be freaking doing that. But I'm talking about a bodybuilding context. I kind of feel like I have to make that, what's the word I'm trying to say? Make that annotation. That doesn't sound right. Because everybody that's, you can go to the gym, you can do a hard workout, but not everybody wants to be a total like freak about it and have it control their whole life. You kind of have to have a little bit of you got to have a little bit of, I don't want to say a miswiring, but you kind of have to have a specific mental build for like almost the most important thing in your day to be your lift and like trying to format everything else around it. But enough of that little chat. Let's just freaking get into something else. So tomorrow is going to be legs, which I'm pretty freaking excited for. Hamstrings is going to be the same as normal, just laying hamstring curls, seated hamstring curls, some cable RDLs. I'm foreseeing, but the quad section is going to change a little bit. So definitely going to start off with leg extensions. Pretty heavy. Maybe I'll do single leg, maybe I'll do double leg and try to like throw an extra plate on the stack. Right, either one, whatever. And then I want to start squatting in between the beginning and the end of quads. So I'll be able to do a pretty good set, but I won't need so much weight as I will if I were to squat fresh. Right? Because from the leg extensions I'll be pre-exhausted. So I won't put so much I won't just like totally gas myself out. Because after like a max out set of squats with fresh quads for me, dude, I need to take a couple of minutes before I do anything else. So let's not foreshadow tomorrow's video. Let's talk about what's going to go on for the rest of tonight. Like I kind of said a second ago, food, perhaps a nap. All my laundry is folded, believe it or not. And I just get to chill, That's pretty much all I got to freaking say. Good pump. Did my cardio this morning. We'll just leave it at that. Hope you had a good lift. Hope if you're bulking, you ate all your food, got your meals down, you feel nice and full, totally carved up. And if you're trimming down, fucking hell, man. Get out of the freezer. I know you've been scratching at that vanilla ice cream. Just because you had one scoop does not mean that does not count for your freaking caloric intake for the day. Now, if you put that ice cream on a scale, you weigh out the amount that you had, you track how many carbs and fats you just ate, and at the end of the day, you still hit your little calorie deficit goals in your stupid simple macro tracker, and there's no problem, right? Even if you're dieting down, you can have treats, you can have sweets, but you need to take that into account with your macros. So that's all I got to say. I'll freaking see you next time.